47.
Right. So which means he no longer
47
a
in
which
shape.
means you no longer a unk, you a
47
papa.
in shape.
That means you a cooked papa. You are no longer a unk. And young men are willing to wine and dine and prepare the table for the cooked meat.
They do.
Trust me. The older men sitting back with papa stands like you with their glass in their hand saying, when you gonna serve daddy? When you gonna serve me?
Make daddy a sandwich.
Make daddy a sandwich.
You pregnant?
Paul's like, did we get an exclusive?
Are you pregnant?
No, I took my IUD out about a month ago so that I can be ready to do my thing.
Congrats. I
What
love
is that,
that.
the eggs?
The IUD is like,
You took the eggs out?
no.
And freeze them?
I have one guy that I have
Yeah,
dated
she's
off and
stuttering
on
now. We
for
got
5
her.
years.
We got her.
We've dated for 5 years off and
So
on.
you was his work for 5 years?
What's going on with you, YouTube? Welcome back to Yo's 101 TV. Have another reaction video for you today from Paul Pierce Podcast, the Truth Podcast. And he's talking to Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. And she's been on a few podcasts talking about men and women's relationships and yada, yada, yada. But we're going to go ahead and get this review going. If you like the channel, like the content, subscribe. Comment. Love having a dialogue with you. Hit the like button for the algorithm. And if you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I'm dropping the videos. And just like that, let's get to it.
Welcome, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Ooh, how about that introduction?
Who,
welcome.
by the way, is not vitamin D deficient.
Oh,
Okay.
I can tell.
Thank
I
you.
can tell the way you
because
talk.
she's sharp.
Tell by
I can tell by the glow. I can
And
tell
the
by the
boots.
glow.
And the boots.
Oh yeah, you probably gonna get some vitamin D tonight.
You know what I mean? I got it before here. That's why I'm
Oh.
here. Good.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
hold on.
anyways, yeah.
I love that. So we're
I'm going to go ahead and stop it already right there. Now, what man wants his woman coming on a show talking to another man about getting some D? Fellas, you please explain that to me in the comments. What woman or what man wants his woman talking to another man about anything to have to do with some D? Please let me know.
so excited to have you. Like, we had to have you. You always spit that real shit, and I love it. So I'm gonna start it right off the bat because I have to get your opinion on something.
Okay.
So Paul just told me that I was cooked, and he said that all women after 30 are cooked, period. What are your thoughts on that?
I think I've seen that.
You
clip.
see that? Because it's
I've
going
seen that
viral, and
clip.
everyone now is in my DMs telling me I'm cooked. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm 34. I get it. I might be a little cooked, but what do you feel about that?
And Paul, you're what? 47?
7.
Right. So which means he no longer
47
a unk.
in
Which
shape.
means you no longer a unk, you a
47
papa.
in shape.
That means you a cooked papa.
still-
You are no longer a unk.
Can still dunk.
So what he's doing from a
still
psychological
run a 40.
perspective, is he's self-projecting his papa cooked self on you. Because honey, you're not cooked. But the papas are.
Hello.
They are.
So Paul just sitting there letting her go in and go off. No. Paul Pierce is 47 years old, a multi-millionaire superstar basketball champion who can take care of any woman, and she does not have to work if she gets underneath his umbrella, right? He can still put babies in any woman he wants to that can have children. She's 34. She's right on the borderline of having high-risk pregnancy. What, 1 year away after 35, high risk, right? You have 1 year. So even if you get pregnant, you're already in high risk because you'll be 35 by the time you give birth. You cannot compare a 34-year-old woman to a 47-year-old multi-millionaire man. Call him cooked all you want. Guarantee Paul Pierce has a plethora of women that are young, beautiful, and childless. And that's just a fact.
Come through.
You are no longer unk, baby. You are a papa status.
All right.
You
so
know what
listen.
papas do, right? They
What do
watch
they do?
grandkids and cook. You cooked. That's all you do.
No, I don't
Yeah.
watch. I don't have no grandkids. So
Her,
no.
on the other hand, she's still rare marinated meat. That's what that is.
Hello, rare marination.
She ain't even got to cooking yet. She not even nowhere near the grill yet.
Hello. That's why we was matching.
So for now on, for the entirety of this episode, I'm gonna call you Papa Pierce.
I'll take that.
That's what you gonna get, Papa.
It's so hard for me not to. I'm gonna probably stop this video a lot. Just letting you know that I'm gonna put the original link to the original video in the description if you want to go watch the whole video without me interrupting. But to say that she's just marinating and not even ready for the grill yet, you're 34 years old. What is she talking about? She's not ready. You're past your prime, to be honest. You can still look good, but biologically, you're past your prime.
Papa Pierce is comedy. I love that down.
He don't like it. He looking at you like.
All right, let's start. Let me say something.
Go ahead.
Let me say something. So, I'm a chef too, right? So, I prep. Like the night before. Like right now, I'm marinating some steaks and some ribs, whatever. So, when you marinating something, what that mean? It's not ready, right? It's not ready. It's in the refrigerator, right?
It's called preparation.
Okay, I don't want that.
It's called preparation.
All right, so I don't want something that's not ready. Okay, now, once you do the marinating, you do the time, you throw it in the oven. Now it's in the oven, right? It's in the oven, it's cooking. I don't want nobody that's cooking. Like, it ain't ready. It's not ready. It's in the oven, right? So now the time go by and years or whatever. Pull it out the oven. It's done. It's cooked, right?
He even storytell like a papa. Keep going.
Listen. I like cooked food.
Okay.
So
she's cooked. You like her?
No.
we good.
What I'm saying is, people looked at this as me dissing women.
Right.
No, it's not a diss toward women.
I got you.
I like cooked
You're
food.
saying you like a woman who's cooked,
who's ready, who's seasoned,
who's experienced, who has wisdom.
See, so y'all took it out of context.
But that's not what he was saying.
Yes, that's exactly what. Don't tell me what I'm saying.
What he's saying is that the meat that's marinated is still marinating and it's preparing for the opportunity. He's saying a woman who is cooked, been there, done that, has the wisdom, she has the experience, and so he don't have to teach her to marinate. He don't have to put her in the freezer. He ain't got to wait for her ass to come out. He ain't got to put her on the oven and wait for the oven to go. She's ready. She comes already seasoned, ready, and fresh.
But he's cleaning it up because last time I said that,
I like it.
Go ahead.
No, listen.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna just tell y'all, Paul is backtracking. I watched the video that they're talking about. I didn't do a reaction on that. I might go back and do a reaction on it, even though I'm doing this video first. I might go back and do a reaction on that video as well for y'all. But he's backtracking. What he was saying is she's cooked, right? Now he's cop and plead with them because he probably wants to satisfy his female fan base or female subscribers or whatever he's doing. But he's cop and plea. What man does not want a woman that he can teach something? What man wants a woman who's been through multiple men and you want to call that seasoned and cooked and ready? No. That is not the definition of cooked. Cooked means you're done. Stick a fork in you. You're done.
And so I'm cleaning it up.
Clean it up.
So I'm like,
Clean it
listen, it wasn't a knock.
Okay.
It was a tee up.
Exactly.
Come on.
And I was waiting for this episode to like explain it. So like, dog, this ain't no knock on you being cooked. I like cooked food.
Well, so, baby girl, he said you cooked. That means you seasoned, you ready, you experienced, and you
she
wise.
cooked, you cooked. We like cooked food. Y'all ready to go.
And now Papa is cooking. And now you're cooking, baby. Now
Papa Pierce.
You ready to go. I got my to-go box. I'm going to throw y'all in that. We're going to the crib.
I love it.
Okay, clean it up.
Like, that ain't that wasn't a bad thing is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
But people want to talk to me like I'm down and no, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good thing. So don't take it. And I know in society and how we word things, like, oh yeah, he's saying they washed. Washed is another word.
Yeah,
that's
he
different.
said cooked.
I said cooked.
Washed is different.
Washed is different.
Because technically, let me say this because I love what you're saying, Paul. Technically, if a person was to eat that raw uncooked meat,
yeah, you might get sick.
they would become intoxicated with salmonella.
See, now he's agreeing with everything that they're saying. And if you go to the comments on this video, he's losing his male subscribers. The male's like, what are you, Paul? That is not what cooked means. Even you were a professional basketball player, one of the greatest, man. One of the greatest scorers ever, I would say. And that's just a fact. But even in the terms of a sport, basketball, football, receiver with a corner or a point guard crossing over a defender, when you say you're cooked, what does that mean? You're done. That's a bad thing. That's not a good thing. He's trying to flip it to be a good thing. Oh, you're cooked. It means you're ready. No, cooked means you're done. Just like washed. Washed means you're no longer good. You're washed. That's not a good term. Neither one of them. They're basically the one and the same. Cooked and washed, same thing. Not really. You can not be washed and get cooked. You know what I mean? But when you're cooked, that means you're done. Simple as that, Paul. You tripping, man.
Come on.
So you don't want nothing that's raw. You need it to be fully cooked. So you can actually have a healthy relationship with no intoxication, no dysfunction, and no raw meat that's going to have your ass sitting in my office, the doctor's office, because you ate something that wasn't ready.
Come on. Come
I like
on.
it, Paul.
Sing to the choir.
That's why I did it. And I was like, oh, they taking this as something that's bad. Nah, this ain't bad.
And it's not.
It's not bad. If I say you cook, that means you ready.
So listen, young fellas, because I'm 42 and cooked, make sure you get you a woman who is cooked, can cook, and will be able to cook. All right?
Did y'all just peep that? She said, young fellas, get you a woman who's cooked. Young fellas, please do not listen to this advice. Why would a young fella get with a cooked woman who's been through multiple relationships, who's had trauma in relationships, and who's going to bring that trauma and drama into your life? And most women who are 34, 42, like she is, are going to have children, okay? They're going to come with baggage, okay? You don't want that. You want a woman that you can build, and she can learn something from you, and she can learn how you are, and who doesn't have a whole bunch of trauma and a whole bunch of relationships and has taken a whole bunch of vitamin D, as she's calling it.
Because from what Paul just said, and I just added to, if she's not cooked, she's raw meat. And anything raw, baby, will intoxicate you. It's not good for your health.
Speak that. Speak that. Speak that.
Now it makes sense now.
I love that. I love that.
I'm not
Speak
here to
that.
diss women. I'm here to
love that.
say, hey, cooked is amazing.
Come on, cooked is amazing. For everyone in my DM said I'm cooked, it's amazing, baby. That's why when he said it, I said I'm cooked and I taste delicious.
That's why all these young boys,
Come on.
y'all like unseasoned meat. Y'all like.
No, it's the older men that like that. It's not the young ones.
That's true. The younger men like the
ones
cook. They like
cooked.
the cooked meat.
They know what's going on.
Let me tell you, they know.
It's the older ones who wants that unseasoned shit.
Yes, and then young men are willing to wine and dine and prepare
They are.
the table for the cooked meat.
They do.
What? Please, y'all. Can y'all help me understand? Because I am all the way confused. Okay. Yes, younger men like to go after older women because it's fun and it's a thing to talk about. When you're young, you talk about the man, I had that older chick, man. Yeah, and she did this for me. And you know what I mean? I tore her down all night. That's what younger dudes do, right? Until you get about 28, 30, around that age, and you want a woman to settle down with. You're not looking for an old woman. Delusional. All I'm gonna say. No younger man wants no older woman for a real serious committed relationship.
Trust me, them older men sitting back with papa stands like you with their glass in their hand saying, when you gonna serve daddy? When you gonna serve me?
Make daddy a sandwich.
Make daddy a Sammy. Make me a Sammy.
Make daddy a sandwich.
Look, while she already cooked, he want a sandwich.
Exactly.
Make daddy a
Come on
salad.
now. I'm
Yeah. Like
done.
Anthony Mackie said, make daddy a
But
sandwich.
let me answer that, because a cooked, seasoned woman
We'll make daddy
will
a
make
sandwich.
daddy a sandwich.
Right.
Hold on, and then come back and say, more?
Hello.
Or did you need dessert?
I need dessert.
See, that's why you want a cooked woman.
Right.
Because she gonna make the sandwich, she gonna cook a meal, and then say, anything else? Hold on, daddy, anything
Preach.
else?
Come on.
Preach.
Is
Speak
your
it.
glass half empty?
Yep.
We gonna make it half full.
So
What we
now
need?
I'm glad we had a chance to clear this up, bringing Doc.
That's BS. What a woman is gonna do who is cooked, meaning when a woman's cooked, means she's been through a whole bunch of different men, a whole bunch of different penises. Okay? A whole bunch of different D. All right. What she's gonna do is she's gonna bring what she has learned and was taught from the other man on to you. You might not be nothing like them other men, and she's gonna expect you to be like them other men, even though she's not with them other men. She's gonna always be judging you and looking at you and comparing you to the last man she was with. And she's gonna do things that that man liked, not the things that you liked. And guess what? She's gonna be stuck in her ways already, and she's not gonna want to adapt to what you really like. So you're gonna get what the old dude had, and what you're gonna get his likes. You're not gonna get your own likes because you didn't season and prepare the meat. She's already cooked.
Listen, I had to explain that because I got a lot of flack. Cooked is good, girl.
And y'all came for me heavy. Y'all trifling for that.
So you youngins or you oldins or whoever
Oldins.
you is,
You papas.
listen, cook is cracking.
Cooked is cracking.
Cooked is cracking.
It is.
Okay.
3 or 30 years old, or maybe even 35. My decision making may have chose a situation that puts my kids in a deficit. Now, your children are blessings, no matter how you look at it. They just are. But they were still born in a deficit because they didn't get the experience of a full household and a full present father. Even if you were on the road playing ball, that's different, knowing that daddy's out there getting it for our household than it is to say he has kids with another woman. So that could possibly why he can't be here with us in this time or can't be present all the time. Doesn't mean that the kids are doomed. We're just talking about the deficit of something as small as a decision causes.
But who's causing those decisions? That's where she's failing to realize that the woman causes the divorce 70% of the time. Come on. And then you want to try to flip it around and blame it on the man when the woman is filing for divorce. And even when the woman divorces the man or woman leaves the man and she makes herself a single mother, the man is still out there getting it for his household. Maybe not for her household, but for his household when he has his children. And if the woman wouldn't keep the kid from the father, then he would be getting the benefits from the father in the household that he's providing for.
And as
Yeah,
we
most-
choose, but as we become better, we date better, we choose better, we marry better, and guess what we do? We parent better. And if people take their time, then they can really avoid doing time.
Now, what do you say to the women that feel like, okay, I'm on this time clock? Because I know a lot of people, including some of my own family members, that have gotten pregnant and they were like, you know what, girl, I'm 30 something. I'm just going to have it. Like, even if they're married, I don't feel that it's like you're so happy or anything, but you're like, hey, I'm this age. I'm just going to have this child now because it's what I should be doing. Or you feel like you're on this biological time clock where you're like, okay, oh my God, I'm nervous. I'm getting of age to where I'm not a spring chicken anymore. Am I going to be able to have children, you know? And I feel like women have that pressure. And another thing is, I feel like women have the pressure of, you know, a lot of the times, even for me, when I've been podcasting or I've been out in the world, it's like, why are you single then? As if it's like, you're not shit because you're single. It devalues you. Like, why are you single? Well, maybe I'm single because I know myself, my standards, and what I actually want. So I'm not settling for anything because a lot of people I know are doing just that.
Yeah.
But what do you say to women who feel that pressure, you know, because you're very confident, 42, you're like, I can have kids, I'm going to get married. And I love that
will,
energy. Yeah. And I believe it. And I love that energy, but I feel like so many women are in fear and they operate out of this fear. And if you can say anything to help them, like that would be amazing.
They're operating out of lack.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say, where's your faith at? Faith is an action word, right? And so for me, I always use Abraham and Sarah in the Bible. God doesn't, he keeps his promises. He says no request returns void.
Ooh.
Okay? And so Sarah and Abraham made a request for a child. They were up in their 80s. And Sarah got impatient. And she told Abraham, get the maid pregnant.
Hold on. It was in their 80s? Both of them?
Yeah.
It's in the Bible. Look it up.
Bible story. I know
So
this.
Sarah, but this is why faith is an action word. Sarah told Abraham.
Okay, you see, because she's 42 years old, and she wants to make it feel like that she's just a spring chicken and she can still have a baby if she wants to at 42 years old with no issues at all. And even the other lady said she has family members who are married and in their 30s, and she came up with might not even be happy, but they're just having a baby because they're 30. If you're married and want to have children, you can't have children with your husband in your 30s. If you're not ready in your 30s to have a child, you probably shouldn't have a child at all. And that's just real talk. And now she's going to go to the Bible and talk about being 80 years old in a totally different time than what we're in right now. Go ahead and get 80 years old, woman, and see if you can have a baby. Go ahead, hit 80 and let me see you get pregnant with a child. Please let me see it.
Abraham, listen, it ain't going to happen. Get the maid pregnant. He got the maid pregnant. As soon as he got the maid pregnant,
Sarah's pregnant. Yeah.
So Sarah told Abraham, guess what? I'm pregnant now, bruh. Maid, she got to go. So Abraham, being the good husband that he was, because remember, he's been hearkening onto her voice the whole time. He didn't cheat. She gave him permission to do this. He tells the maid she got to go. God talks to the maid in the desert and says, listen, you don't know who you're pregnant with. Go back. The maid's like, I can't go back. Go back. She comes back. Sarah has her baby. Guess what's in that household? Nothing but conflict. Nothing but conflict. What is my point? My point is I'm not Sarah. I understand that my request ain't returned void.
Ooh.
And I understand, like the Bible says, be anxious for nothing and make your request be known to God. I'm not anxious about when a child or husband is coming. I don't want anything that's not mine. And I say this, Paul, with no pun intended, when we take things that aren't ours, it comes with the expiration date. Just like those two beautiful mothers of your kids, expiration date. But you still have the kids you have to father. I don't want that situation. So I would rather wait for God to deliver what's mine on his time when I am cooked and not still raw meat and not ready. And if that means I gotta wait till 43 or 44 or call off another wedding, I am okay with that. My obedience is to God, not people.
So she look at her, man. She is past cooked. She's leftovers that's ready to be tossed. I'm sorry, that is what it is. So you don't think that if she's so in tune with God, you don't think that God has already sent you a man that was ready for you and ready to be a husband and ready to be a father to you and treat you right and do all that? No. She wants the perfect man. She wants the man that's making all this money. She probably wants one of these industry men. She's around them all the time. She probably is dating an industry man who's smacking her around. And I don't mean like physically smacking her around, but I mean, like y'all know what I'm talking about. Giving her that vitamin D or whatever she's talking about, talking like a young lady when she's in her 40s and calling other women, calling her bro and all this, talking like a man already, thinking like a man, acting like a man, talking like a man. You're not a man. You're a woman. Yeah, you're past your prime. You're past your prime birth bearing days. And that's just a fact. That's biology. You can't fight it. Okay? And you're looking like you're in your 40s. You know? That's just crazy to me. But with this Rand, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video right there. I think I'm gonna do a part 2 to this because there's some other pieces of this that I want to go ahead and react to, but it's an hour and 40-minute podcast, so I'm gonna have to break this up. You know, I might do one more video on it, may do 2 more videos on it, but I'm gonna break it up and do a part 2 on this. But that being said, if you like the content, subscribe to the channel, hit the like for the algorithm, comment. Love having a conversation with you guys. And also, if you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I'm dropping videos. And just like that, I'm out.